Good afternoon, ladies. It's so nice to get together again in our wellness gathering, and we're going to be focusing on moving into our missions, and we're taking responsibility of our well-being through the principles of core alignment. And Lynn is saying that this is going to be a very interesting session. So
We're gonna have some fun.
And so Lynn is going to take it away. Madeline's just coming aboard here.
Oh, there. Awesome. All right. Cool. Yes. So we are going to be looking at the missions and then the business of our lives. It's the business building module of the core alignment and emotional wisdom training. And so we're going to start to say your name, say where you are. And the question we're going to start with is, what is something you watch over and over and over and still want to watch again? So my name is Lynne, and something that I watch over and over and over and still want to watch again is, well, I really like watching comedy, like some of the old comedies like Corner Gas and Seinfeld. Those are some of the sitcoms that I like to watch over, and particularly Corner Gas because it reminds me of growing up in Saskatchewan, and it's just so classic of a small town, and it's always funny. So that's something I watch over. How about you, Madeline?
Hi. I am Madeline. I'm in Calgary, and something I enjoy watching over and over and over. I enjoy watching a lot of YouTube stuff. I guess lately I've been watching a lot of Abraham Hicks because it's all about manifesting and it's all about feeling good, and it becomes something I fall back on and watch over and over and over. So if I'm not feeling that, I know I can sort of get there again by watching some of them.
Cool. Awesome.
My name's Olive. I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and thing that I've been watching over again lately is the old British comedy, Are You Being Served? I just need something mindless and to make me laugh. That's my go-to this month. I mean, it's politically incorrect. It's just kind of slapstick humor, but it's easy to watch and it takes my mind off everything else.
Nice. Very nice. Awesome. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I'm Dawn Marie, and I am in Sacramento, California. And the one show that I have been watching for seasons now is a reality show about, can't think of the title of it right now, but these couples who allow these, I don't know if they're counselors or if they psychologists, but they allow this group of professionals to find them a mate. And they find them these mates and they get married in 2 weeks once they find their mates. And to just watch their journey to see how many of them are brave enough to marry a stranger, number one. And then number two, to go on a honeymoon with this individual and then come back and have to live with them to end up making a decision whether or not they want to stay married. Well, what have we come to today? And it's like the dating world is such a unique experience, but it keeps me intrigued to see how it can happen and what ends up happening, and if they end up really falling in love. So it's some form of entertainment for me.
Wow, cool. Awesome. Oh, such a wide variety. Hey, what about you, Lorraine?
Oh, I'm going to go entirely different. What I like watching,
Say it.
I do. Oh, I'm Lorraine. I'm in snowy East Kootenays in British Columbia. And of course, lately, what I really like watching is the snow on the trees. And it's really like it's been snowing for days. So they're just laden, all the pine trees are laden with snow. And of course, when the snow falls, it's the falls like, and it just gives me a feeling of mysticism, or there's a spooky, a ghost out there shaking the trees. But along with, so that's what I like. And I like looking at the trees because they're so stately. But one of the shows that I like watching is Carol Burnett. That first breakup with Carol Burnett, Tim Conway's activities. But I think right now it's the trees that I really like. I can just sit and just mesmerized by the trees.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we are always watching something, either inside or out. And so what we're going to be focusing on today is the very first exploration as we move into this 10 weeks. And we're going to be looking at making a movie of our lives. And what our intention for today is to look at the roles that you might be playing in your life and in your movie, and see how you are in it as the star of your show, and supporting you to see the vision that will create your mission and your mission statement, and what you really value and what you want to put that statement into as you move into your missions. So what role would you say you would be playing in your life right now? Olive?
Oh, talking about making a movie, I would be the star.
Awesome. How about you, Madeline? What role? Because we could play many roles, right? We could be playing the actor, the star, the director, the producer, the screenplay writer, the supporting actor, whatever you see yourself being. So you see yourself being the star. So how about you, Madeline? What role do you see yourself?
I have quite an affinity to being the stage manager, and I think I just am that, right? I am that. Like I dream still about stage managing. So there must be a big part of me that is about managing, and it might just be managing my life. I don't know, but it's all tied up into that.
Very cool. Very cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
Well, I would probably be playing the role of a supporting producer or actor or stage manager. I like to do behind the scenes activities. So I think I would pretty much be in some type of a supporting role.
Got it. A supporting manager or a supporting producer?
Supporting stage manager, what have you. Yeah.
Got it. How about you, Lorraine?
Oh, what role I would play in my movie?
What role are you playing in the movie of your life
a
right now?
grumpy old lady.
And what role would that be? I mean, that would be the role. So are you an actor, a star, director, a producer?
I think I'd be probably a director. And what comes to mind was in that field. I have a friend that just passed away in Regina, and all of you may have heard of her. And her name was Jean Freeman, and she was an author and a emotional. And I read her obituary, and she wrote her own obituary. So she was a director of her life in her obituary. It was just Jean all over again. And so when I read her obituary, in the bottom of it, like it was in the Leader Post and Regina Leader Post, there is an area that you can write your own story.
Mm.
So word for thought, but you'll have to get it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'll check on I'll check the Regina Leader Post.
Yeah, because I can just see her
Got it.
doing, and I've never seen that before, so
Aw,
anyway, apropos
So
for
you
the
could be a
conversation.
director and a writer. Well,
Mhm.
that's a good example. That's a good example, right? You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, so I guess when I look at my own life, what role I'm playing, I feel like I'm somewhat of a writer as well, or maybe a stage manager, sort of a lot of those things. I like to create my life, but I also like to show up in it as well. And so I think that I'm a producer and an actor in my own play.
Mhm.
So who else might be showing up in your movie with you? Don Marie?
What do you mean? Who else would be showing up in my
Well,
movie?
what other characters might be showing up in your movie?
The star. You know, after all, I can't have my movie without my star performer. So I would be looking for her so that I could support her as well.
Yes. Awesome. How about you, Olive? Who else might be showing
Gosh.
up in your
I would like to see circle of women on the screen to show up in my movie.
cool? Nice. Yeah.
I think we'd make a
Madeline?
wonderful movie.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, Madeline?
I agree. I agree with Olive. I think and truly anyone who can help me see the best of the world. So that that really becomes my to show me how to envision. They envision to help guide me, and I think that's the reason I'm drawn to Abraham Hicks so much, right? Because it's an example of how they see through their imagination what is glorious to be seen.
Mm, cool. So the best of the world vision.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Lorraine?
what would people that would show up in my story are all the people that I had association with, and just sitting and reminiscing of all the events that we did and the silly things we did, and the people that really taught me something, supported me, and made me laugh, and even right down to the people that irritated me. There's something about them that would be really make me
All
well,
kinds of characters.
you know, they were all characters, you know. So
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess what I see the people in my life, well, I mean, I see my family, I see the people I'm supporting, I see fun groups like this where we can have more intentional conversations and support each other in creating visions of what we'd like to see. And yeah, and creating a different world, or creating the world that we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So as this movie is going on in front of us, what conflicts might show up? Lorraine?
I think what conflicts is probably um, me not expressing myself to be understood by others, or I'm saying something, I'm writing a story and they're not getting it, and just misunderstanding. And when I tell a story, I go around the bush, and there's no no punchline. So I think that would be what would be sort of hindering, just not
Similar.
clarifying what I'm saying.
Got it. Got it. Well, you, Dawn Marie?
Say probably location. I'd have to find a location where I could bring everyone together and be able to create this vision of this movie that I would want to help support. So I'm thinking just where would we house this production?
Got it. So the conflict of the location.
Yes.
Got
Mhm.
it. How about you, Madeline? You're just having a good time over there.
I think my conflict is the desire to ignore what's real and have more of what I imagine true and real. That's a conflict for me. Because I'm very, what is, and I'm trying very, very hard to ignore what is and develop my own what is. And so the
Mm.
tactile world is what right now is my what's
God.
a conflict.
God. So
Mm.
the conflict of reality of yeah.
Period.
And okay, cool. How about you, did I ask everybody? Don Marie, I got yours, right? And
Mhm.
Olive.
Thinking of my original concept of the group of people on our screen, I think it would be balance. I think we're all fairly strong personalities, and I think it might be a bit of a struggle to create balance.
That's right. And there's lots of wisdom here.
Mhm.
We might all want to be the star when it boils right down to it. We
Totally.
might all want to be the director.
Yeah. No, I want
Totally.
to support you. I don't want to be the
Okay.
lead.
Well, at least we're getting a location. Like we'll have a location. Well, we might need to work on some communication and some understanding, and then notice, what's real and what's not real, and then also find the balance between it all. Yeah. So what ways might these conflicts get resolved? Lorraine?
Well, certainly, I think what the way that we get resolved is having an open conversation and debate or discussion and come up with something that feels comfortable for the group or for, the decision,
Mhm.
and not saying to each other that my way is the highway and yours isn't. It's
Mhm.
a cooperation of discussion,
Mm.
and what ends up feeling good with the group, even if it may not in some way, but as best they can. A lot of compromising.
Got it. Don Marie, how might you get over conflict?
Well, I would probably rely on Madeline since she is a stage manager. She has that ability to show up and, get things going. So I would hope that her experience can be brought to the table to help us and solidify a location, help promote
Got
this project
it.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. But you all of what ways might these conflicts get resolved?
I think what's been said already, compromise, patience,
Mm.
maybe deciding somebody is going to be the director. We need somebody that's going to direct us and tell us what to do.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, what comes up for me around the ways that things get resolved is some of those roles that are in movies are probably specifically for those aspects. I don't know if that's a producer or director or what maybe it's the screenwriter. Maybe we need to write more story to go with it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, you need a storyboard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So what would you say the main theme is of what we're watching? Don Marie, you're on my screen, so I'm going to ask you first.
I would say stand up and be counted.
Hmm.
Stand up and be counted.
Cool. How about you, Madeline?
I would say the theme is perhaps acceptance.
Awesome. How about you, Olive?
I think the theme for me would be mature women sharing their wisdom.
Mm.
Mm.
And mature women is sharing wisdom. What about you, Lorraine?
I think a good sense of humor.
Good sense of humor.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Could be a
All
comment.
right. Well, that's right. Good sense. Lots of laughter. Yes. So part of creating a vision is by, looking at the movies and the roles that we're playing in our lives. So what mission does this vision bring to you? Madeline?
The mission.
Yes, we got standing up and being counted, acceptance, mature women sharing their wisdom, good sense of humor.
Well, the mission is to enjoy life, I think. That's certainly my individual, but it also sounds like it becomes what we're talking about in this particular enjoyment episode. Together,
Lorraine?
enjoying life and doing it together. Yeah.
Cool. Lorraine?
I think the difference would be how we can make a difference in other people's lives when they're watching the movie.
How to make, How about you, Olive? Or Dawn Marie, sorry.
I would have to say all things are possible.
Got it. All things possible. Olive?
I think it's looking for the strengths in individuals and letting them shine.
Cool. Awesome. Well, in this movie, as we go forward, we're going to be looking at different concepts through this, but this is the movie of our lives. So what will support you from this conversation until we talk again? Madeline?
That we can create easily, that the few sentences that we've each contributed has created something that could be the base of a movie. It's definitely easier than it seems. It seems to me sometimes that it's insurmountable, but it's really actually pretty darn easy and enjoyable too.
Awesome. How about you, Olive?
I think for me, it will be that no matter how humble your life or your background, you have something significant to contribute.
Yeah. Awesome. Dawn Marie?
I would have to say the wonder of amazement that, we can all come together with all of these ideas and create something that could be life-changing if we all applied the principles that we bring with the wisdom that we have. That's what I would say.
Yeah, totally. How about you, Lorraine?
Well, the question was what I'll take away from this conversation. Is that what the question?
Yeah.
I think it's just the possibilities. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking the creativity of this whole thing. And we'd go to California, we'd have the sitting there and and throw in a few other things. I mean, and as you get older, the more creative and silly you could get.
And you don't even have to leave your chair to do it.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, what I take away is, yeah, this sense of imagination around just really looking at the roles that I might be playing in my life, looking at the roles that others play in their lives, looking at how all those different roles contribute to a beautiful motion picture. And so many beautiful, things that we've come up with today. So, really all that acceptance and standing up to be counted. And this will be a good recording to listen to. So, what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life? Madeline?
What I will take with me that will support me for the rest of my life, I think the accessibility of our thoughts, because we do not be tuned in to our imagination. We go along and just react to the world and not be too concerned about what we're thinking and how easy it is to manipulate our thoughts into serving us properly, feeling good, being kind to ourselves and each other. These are, I think it just is really something we've kind of forgotten, that how easy it is to use our imagination and make the world look good.
Awesome. How about you, Olive?
What I will take with me is the knowledge that you can always use your creativity, that creativity doesn't have an age group or an end, that we should all continue to be creative.
Awesome. Dawn Marie?
What I will take away from this that will support me for the rest of my life is that, never say never, because who would have thought that we could create this type of a platform where we can all come together, and we're all in different locations, states. It's just amazing how when you just get present to allowing it to happen and allowing it to unfold, what can come out of it? I mean, people are struggling today with, mental health issues and things of that nature. But to have this type of a platform to be able to talk things through for 30 minutes. And it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Totally. Awesome. Lorraine?
What I'll take away that will support me the rest of the life is the fun of this. I mean, you're quite right, Dawn, and everybody. It's just, it really lifts the spirit. And I really appreciate just getting into that mindset, because things can get pretty bogged down if you start thinking anything else. So this has been wonderful. Very creative.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and what I take away is that supports me for the rest of my life, that there's a real grace in setting an intention and holding a container and just having an intentional conversation, as opposed to a conversation that's just everything. I mean, not that those conversations aren't productive, but there's a very specific structure where we set the intention for the conversation at the beginning, we gather information during it, and then we complete with that intention at the end, and then share what we'll take away. And that's really the container of all these conversations, is by having an intentional conversation. One could do it anytime. I could have an intentional conversation with my husband and just say, the intention of our time is to talk about the kids, or whatever, whatever it might be. But that's the principles of core alignment, along with this wellness gathering, is looking at how we can make our lives more, be more the stars of our show and show up and live our best lives. And these conversations help to do that. So have a great week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Lynn. I'm going to